So let's move into our feature, Hidden Gems. So the folks that come on the show have been playing the format for a long time. I suppose we, play some cards that many players have never heard of. We discuss one of those cards each week in our feature segment, Hidden Gems. Now, I suspect that you've gone pretty far afield for yours. What do you have?
So I actually, when people ask me for card recommendations, especially like esoteric card recommendations, I really like to try and find budgety cards that aren't 20-30 bucks, that are a big ask to add. And one card that I think is a bit of an underrepresented gem is, and I'm holding up, Spectral Searchlight. Also, its silver-bordered cousin, Mad Science Fair Project. They basically do the same thing. Spectral Searchlight it's a 3-mana rock, 5 colors. And there's a whole class of those, and you have to choose which ones are good. But Spectral Searchlight is great because it lets you give mana to somebody else if you want to. And this is the kind of positive politics that plays really well for like soft nudges to behavior in the game. Being able to give someone a little bit of mana, not strictly to help them out, but to help yourself. Oh, you could play Wrath if you had an extra white? I can help with that. Oh, you could do something spectacular, or you could break up this combo. You could counter Sheldon's proliferating Rollisk. I can help with that. And putting it out there, people pay a little bit more attention to you, and they just subconsciously have a little bit better of a perspective of you in their head. So I really like it.
What does it tell you about the folks who will ask if you'll give them the mana? Does it give you any kind of read on them?
Sometimes yes. Trust is earned in drops and spent in buckets. And one of the cool things about little cards like this, like Spectral Searchlight, is it lets you start the trust chain. It's a small thing for me to say, yeah, sure, have a blue. With Mad Science Fair Project, it's a little bit harder because it's roll a die or flip a coin, 50-50. Maybe you get colorless, maybe you get colored. But offering people a little bit of mana here and there throughout the game, they ask you for it. There's that old psychological trick that if there's someone that you're arguing with and you want to bring them around to your side, ask them to do you a favor. Because the cognitive dissonance will either get them, if they don't want to say no, but at the same time, when they do it, it sort of brings you around. It helps build that bridge. It opens up the conversation.
That's a cool card. I like the idea of, it expands on the sort of cooperative aspect of the game, right? We can tell a different story if we're all sort of in the same boat. And if I'm helping you or you're helping me, then the tide has lifted, at least for the two of us.
Yeah, and I'm still going to fireball you. Right out of the game when the time comes, I am going to use that mana accelerant for my good more than yours. But having a small favors to give around is an interesting aspect. How about you? You got anything interesting?
Yeah, I brought up a card that you played on game 1 of the stream last week, Shriveling Rot. It's from Darksteel. It's a rare. It's 2 black for an instant, and you can choose one. Until end of turn, whenever a creature is dealt damage, destroy it. Or until end of turn, whenever a creature dies, that creature's controller loses life equal to its toughness. And for 2 and a B, it has Entwine. This has been one of my favorite cards for a long time, and even though it killed me, it did me no end of joy to see you play it.
It's a funny one. It's worth noting in terms of budget cards. It is a 2-cent rare. And yeah, it's an instant. The number of times you can just, if you're careful, you can blast the table for a solid 30 or 40 damage when someone wraths, and then you just, in response, I think I'll do this.
Yeah. Certainly if somebody has played a blasphemous act or something, you're going to be able to both kill the other things that didn't get killed for some reason, and then just dome everybody for a big bunch. It's a surprise. It's one of those cards that the first time you play it with somebody who hasn't seen it, they're like, "Let me see that again," and they take notes, and then they go, yeah, they're looking it up on their phone as we're shuffling up for the next game, and like you said, they find out that it's 2 cents, so they ordered themselves a foil copy before the game is finished.
The first mode is harder to use. Like, it's occasionally nice where you throw it into combat between two other players, where someone attacks you and you've got a couple of dorks, and you're like, I will block your 7/7 and your 9/9 with my 2/1/1s, and also death becomes you.
It's sort of a pseudo death touch.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surprise death touch is better than death touch.
Right. Well, we've gone into the mines and found some hidden gem. Here's hoping that it inspires you to do a little spelunking of your own.